Beautiful day to start the motor swap. Six-two, baby. Should be good. I'm gonna pull the front cover here, replace the timing chain, oil pump. You gotta see what kind of condition everything's in. Reseal most of it. So yeah, 6.2 out of a 2007 Escalade. I'm gonna do timing chain, oil pump, clean it up, reseal everything. I don't think I'm gonna touch the head gaskets. I'm just gonna leave it as is. And then yeah, clean it up a little bit, get all the sensors I need sorted out, and yeah, hopefully this is a pretty straightforward swap. I'm gonna have to take these manifolds off, they're in pretty rough shape. And then probably do tarp setup again over the front of the truck because it's gonna be some pretty crappy weather coming up. So get that set up, probably take my front wheels off, drop the thing down as far as I can because the truck's pretty high. And yeah, it's gonna be hopefully a good, nice, easy swap. Alright, got the motor basically stripped down to where I'm ready to pull the front timing cover and start doing the timing chain and oil pump and stuff like that. But first, before I open it up, I want to deal with these broken bolts. I got 4 broken bolts on the exhaust that it's kind of unavoidable. And I got 1 broken bolt on the water pump. So I'm gonna pull out the welder, weld some nuts on these 2, hopefully get those loosened up. Welding them should loosen them up enough. And yeah, I should be able to get those off. 1 for the water pump. I don't know what happened with that one. I tried going back and forth with it, heating it up a little bit. Nothing worked, so just snapped her off and I'll deal with it now. And then got these 2 on this side to deal with. And yeah, I think this cam sensor is going to be a bit of a pain in the ass to deal with. It looks pretty crusty. What a pain in the ass this thing's been so far. At least getting these broken bolts out. I got 4 bolts out. 4 of those guys, just welding nuts on them. Still got this one here left, and basically just kind of given up. I've went welding on pile of nuts. I've tried building up the weld using vice grips. I just can't seem to get it off. It just keeps breaking. Tried different settings on the machine, and yeah, nothing seems to be working for me. So I also got this one. I've already started drilling that one out. That's for the water pump. So yeah, same thing with these 2. Weld on the nut, just snaps right off. They're just too tight. So yeah, see what I can do. Just keep going. One way or another, this motor's getting in. So I pulled the oil pan. Doesn't look like there's a ton of stuff in the bottom. I did find a couple little bits of plastic. There's this, it looks like maybe the sensor, the cam sensor. But I don't think that would have caused any damage. It was just kind of sitting in there by the oil pump, and there's a couple little bits in the oil pan. Another little piece there, but yeah, other than that, no metal in the oil pan, so I think it looks good. The only other thing is it's got this, must have had really low oil pressure, or at least a little bit, because the gasket for the oil pump pickup here is like hard as a rock. Like I can just crumble the thing in my hand, and it was split when I pulled it out, so that would definitely cause low oil pressure. But yeah, other than that, everything looks pretty good. I'm gonna pull this windage tray, or whatever you call it, and just have a look at all the bearings and everything. I don't know if I'll pull a bearing, but probably not the worst idea. But yeah, it doesn't look like a ton of carbon buildup in this thing. It looks pretty clean for the most part. It's yeah, pretty happy with it. Looks real clean in there. You can see down there, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but you can see the cam lobes. Cam lobes look nice and clean. There's no no wear in them, no ridges or anything. Cylinder walls look good. A little bit of an update. I got the oil pump on, the timing chain, the new cam phaser. Yeah, just cleaning everything up. Gonna do the front main seal and then the rear main seal, and hopefully bolt everything back together. I ordered this little cam phaser magnet on the front of this thing, just because this one looks pretty rusty and it's behind the water pump, so I don't really want to have to deal with it once it's in the vehicle. May as well get that in, and then yeah, once the front and rear main seal are on, I can start putting the front cover, rear cover, oil pan, and then yeah, get this thing buttoned up and then start pulling the motor on my truck. Okay, I got front and rear main seal off. The old ones. Really dry. Kind of tough to see, but there's the rear cover off. Just one big piece. And then front cover. Okay, motor's all sealed up. Did timing chain, oil pump, front and rear main seal, front cover gasket, rear cover gasket, oil pan gasket. Alright, I haven't filmed much of this, but I got most of the wiring up out of the way. It's super simple. It's a couple main connectors on top of the valve covers. Just a few plugs, whatever. Whole harness kind of just flops out to the side. This whole power steering pump, alternator bracket and everything, like it's literally 4 bolts. Just unbolts, swing it to the side. Probably the easiest motor I've ever pulled. Yeah, it's now just got to do like my cooling lines, probably pull the fan cover, and I might have to pull the radiator. I might pull it anyways just to be safe. And then yeah, I mean, other than that, it's got the exhaust flanges unbolted. Basically just got to start doing the bell house, the torque converter bolts, and pull the intake manifold. I'm going to do that right now. Pull the intake manifold. I bought a lifting plate off Amazon just because how high the truck is. I want as much clearance as possible. Okay, got the intake manifold off. Getting closer. Alright, got the hood off, lifting plate in place, engine mounts are disconnected. Just got to do the bell house bolts and support the transmission, and then start lifting this thing up. I'm dealing with gravel here, so I'm gonna have to put some plywood in place and just so it doesn't sink in. It shouldn't be too bad, but I got a bunch of pieces of plywood I can lay down, and yeah, hopefully this works. I got a little shelter built here. It's kind of funny, but yeah, work with what you got. Had to air the tires down to get enough room for this thing to hook up. Got the oil cooler lines undone. Give you a kind of look at the setup I got here. Everything's disconnected. I took the crank pulley off. I supported the transmission. Tranny supported, a bunch of plywood under there. Yeah, got the bell housing all separated here. Everything's loose. Pulled it out with the exhaust manifolds on, the engine mounts and everything. Oh, she's coming. It's a nice view from this side. So I should have a ton of room now to pull her out. Everything's disconnected. Sun finally came out. This whole job has been in the rain. Been pretty miserable lately. But I got a lot of new parts here. Show you what's going on. I got new torque converter there from TCS. It's a Brandon Langley. It's got a billet back cover, upgraded clutches, the hub dampener and stuff like that, whatever you call it. I don't know all the internals, but it's all upgraded. Same stall. I didn't want to go with any kind of heavy stall or any kind of different stall speed, just because this is, a camping truck. It doesn't really need any high performance stuff like that. I'm not launching it off the line. Then other than that, I got new exhaust manifold, engine mounts, the front cam sensor, magnet, whatever, just a few upgraded parts here, and resealed the motor. So new cam sensor, magnet, whatever you call that thing, for the variable cam timing. Exhaust manifold, just some aftermarket replacement exhaust manifolds. Engine mounts, I wasn't going to do the engine mounts, but I pulled them out. They were ripped, so figured I may as well. Did front and rear main seal, back cover. I didn't do the head gaskets. I'm just going to leave it, hope that it's okay, and if it ever is a problem in the future, I can always just do that while it's in the truck. It's not that big of a deal. There's the old motor. Probably be able to sell that for something. It's got like 147,000 kilometers on it. So yeah, I swapped a few of the parts over. Ignition coils I swapped over. The oil pressure sensor I swapped over because it's a different plug. I was going to reuse the exhaust manifolds from this, but I'll just leave it. It'd be easier for the next guy that gets it if he wants to just slap it in, rather than I had to extract a bunch of broken bolts on this thing, so rather just leave it for the next guy. I still got to pull off this bracket, air conditioning bracket, but that's easy. I swapped over the valve covers because slightly different with this PCV whatever breather. Just keep my water pump that I have for now. Nothing wrong with it. It's not leaking. Yeah, I don't really see a need to replace it. We'll see. I might change my mind, but yeah, other than that, she's ready to go in. Just getting it set up on the engine stand right now, and then we'll start putting it in. Thanks for watching. I got the truck all done. It's running okay, but I still need to take it in to get professionally tuned. They got some map sensor codes coming up and a few other things. Traction control light is coming on intermittently, but it runs and drives, and I got an appointment in a couple days. I'm going to take it in and get it tuned, and that should be that. I did end up having a rear main seal leak after I put the motor in, and yeah, it was a bit of a pain. I had to pull the transmission out, replace the seal. If you're going to be doing a job like this, don't make the same mistake I did and do it right. I did replace the seal, but I think the way that I installed it, I must have installed it incorrectly or didn't align it properly. But yeah, I'm happy the job's done. Thanks for watching.